everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a layout share for you. So I'm going to a retreat this weekend. It's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And one of the goals for the weekend is I have several iris containers and pizza boxes of layouts that have pictures on them that need to go in albums, and I also have iris bins of layouts with no photos on them, and I want to put photos on them this weekend and get those into albums as well. So before I put these layouts into an album, the ones that already have photos on them, I thought I would share them with you before I put them into the page protectors, because it's hard to see them when there's a glare on them. So I've got 50 pages here, and so we'll just start looking at them. And hopefully you get some inspiration from this video. So this task has been weighing on my mind for a long time, and it bothers me when I come into my room and I would see the iris bins of layouts that needed to be put away and layouts that needed photos. And so I've made it a goal for this coming weekend that I am going to try and attack both those projects, layouts that need photos and layouts that need to be put in albums. So I'm going to show you these layouts. I'll try to tell you as much as I can about each layout, what I remember about doing them. A lot of these were made quite a while ago, so I'll be as helpful as I can. So this layout, and sorry I'm zoomed out as far as I can go. I wish I could zoom out a little more so I could see the whole layout, but I'll try to show you everything in the layout. So this layout, I did it as part of a class through a retreat I go to in the fall, and it's hosted by Little Bird's Nest Papery, and I'll put the links down below to her Facebook page and all her links and stuff. And she does mostly kind of vintage grunge type stuff, which isn't normally my style, but I like doing her classes because you learn lots of techniques and get to try different things. And I may have shown these layouts before in videos a long time ago, so if you remember any of these videos, good on you. But or any of these layouts. But yeah, so I know we did some texture paste in the background, and we made our own stamps, I believe, out of these numbers that are in the background. We used some foam and cut it out. She cut it out of foam, the dies, and then we attached it to a stamp block and made our own stamps in the background here. And then we did some sort of techniques on the chipboard numbers and added some of these little dots here. We used some straws, a lot of distressing and inking and stuff. I really like how this turned out, and this is just pictures from my son's graduation from high school. So yeah, really like how that one turned out. This next one, I pretty much copied a layout that I saw on Pinterest and just did my own take of it as far as the paper goes, but pretty much copied the same sort of design that the person had. And I did some stitching along the bottom here and added a flare and some buttons, and this is a Heidi Swapp die. Here it says happy. This is a picture of my son, first day of school. And I put a little glassine bag here in the back. So I like how that turned out, and I'll be glad to get these into some albums because they're starting to bend and stuff, and I just need to put them away. This next one is an older picture of my boys and my husband. They went on a hunting trip. Oh, I think that's a letter off of the other layout here. On a hunting trip, and I think they went to Saskatchewan for this hunting trip, if I remember correctly. And oh, Manning, sorry, that was Alberta. And so I just took their picture and I made it black and white and made it bigger, and used a cut apart and some hunting and kind of nature type stuff, and stapled some paper on the bottom here and added a little title here of where they went, Manning, and even did a little bit of journaling down here, which I hardly ever do. And so I don't scrapbook chronologically, so when I put these in albums, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. I think what I'm going to do, hopefully there'll be a table there that isn't being used at some point during the weekend, and I'm just going to lay out all the layouts and then kind of gather them in piles. I haven't really got an album for each of my kids started other than a baby album, and they're really not interested in the scrapbooking, the boys, and so I'm just going to put them in albums for myself, and then after I die they can decide what they want to do with it. So, and I don't know if I'll put these in kind of what I think is chronological order, or whether I'll have like a family album and then grandkid album. I'm not really sure how I'll do that, but if you guys have suggestions, put them down below. If you don't scrapbook chronologically, how do you put your pages in albums? So that's the next one. This one here, I need to do some repairs here. This one letter keeps coming off, but this is just kind of a goofy picture of our youngest with our oldest grandchild. And this is some older paper from, oh, I forget what her name is, Allison somebody. And I used a Project Life card here. And yeah, thought this turned out fun. I used a little label down here and a little die cut, and used a black and white picture, and I think this is a 5x7 size photo here. So I thought that one turned out nice. This next one was from a class I took, or maybe not a class, I think it was an attendee kit for a Crop and Create back when they used to do them in person. And so I think I had shared this layout maybe in a layout share, but I didn't have any pictures on it. And I remember one weekend during National Scrapbook Day, there was an online crop, and one of the things I did that day was printed a bunch of photos. And I think I even shared it in a video that I had a big stack of layouts that I was going to share with you, the photos, and these are the ones that I was going to share that I finally put photos on. But it really makes a difference once you get the photos on the layout. They just, you know, definitely are complete then, right? They just are so blank looking without the photos on them. So I can't remember what paper lines these were. I think they were a mixture of different papers, and I think this was either a die cut or we fussy cut this out of the paper. And then some enamel dots here. And these are just some older pictures of our boys at Christmas time, I believe, and I turned them into black and white. I do that a lot when I don't know what photos I'm going to put on a layout. I just turn the photos to black and white, and that way they'll match the paper. So this next one is a double page layout. So again, I think this was the attendee kit, like that first one. And so here it is together. So this first page here, I really like this rainbow paper in the background, and I liked how we did the enamel dots kind of like in a circle around the little cluster. I really like that idea. And these kind of shiny thickers. And this was on a trip that we took to a cabin, and this is two of our dogs. Sadly, they're not with us anymore. And then I got a family kind of photo with two of our boys and the two dogs. And yeah, I think that turned out really cute. And this is the second page. And we used to play a lot of games when we'd go on our trips, and maybe just the two boys were with us because I only have pictures of the two boys. So could have been when the older boys were working and didn't want to come with us, but I used a punch along the bottom here. Oops. And I think before I put them in the album, I'm going to do kind of a test and see what needs to be glued, because as you can see, stuff needs to be glued down. And I'm also, if there's brads and stuff, I'm going to put washi tape over the back if there's any brads or staples. And then this thicker here, I think we put paper behind it and then cut around it. And added some enamel dots to the stickers. And yeah, I think this turned out really cute. So I like how that one turned out. This next one was a kit that I bought years ago. And I remember I did some sewing on it. And I had showed this in a layout share, but I didn't have a photo on it. So I finally added a photo to it. I put a little pin in the with the little cactus there. I thought that was cute. And then this is at that same cabin. This is during the winter one time we went. And I think it was right after Christmas. Spent New Year's there. And yeah, those were fun times. And added some enamel dots to this cut apart. And even though it's a winter photo and there's cactus and stuff, you don't know it's a winter photo just by, you know, I know it's winter, but by looking at the photo you wouldn't know that. So don't always be intimidated by whatever the layout is. I think when you change a photo to black and white, it's very forgiving for a lot of things. So like here he's wearing his pajamas, but when they're in black and white it doesn't look as bad. This next one is a double page layout. And I did sewing on this one as well. I need to do more sewing on layouts. I really do like sewing on paper. It's just trying to take it out and make time to do the sewing sometimes. Oh, it goes this way, sorry. So this is the double page layout. Sorry for any glare from the overhead lights. And this was from a Crop and Create. I can't remember if this was the attendee kit or whether this was a class. I want to say it was the attendee kit. And this was from a trip to the zoo. And even though it looks kind of a tropical, you know, you'd think you would need tropical photos, I didn't go that route, and I think it still looks okay. These pictures are outdoors, so that kind of helps. And yeah, I like the added sewing to it. I think it gave it some bit of texture. I'm not the greatest sewer, but I wish I had gold thread at the time. I think that would have looked nice on there, but I'm still happy with how that turned out. And then this is the second page. More photos from the zoo, and added some bling to this cut apart here. And I love these embossed doilies at the bottom. And yeah. This next couple are from a class I took with Vicki Boutin, and I believe this is a double page spread. And this was at a Crop and Create online or in-person event. And so we did a bunch of different techniques here in the background. And I wasn't that keen on the black, but once I got my photos and the embellishments on here, I don't mind it at all. I think before I put it in the album, I'm going to add some enamel dots or bling to it, because I think it kind of needs that. But yeah, these are just photos. We took our granddaughter to the mountains for the day and took some pictures, so that turned out good. And then this one here, I did a long hike to these waterfalls, so got some pictures at the waterfalls. And yeah, I definitely think it needs some enamel dots and bling, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. This next one was a kit that I bought years ago, and I liked that it was kind of boy themed. Just trying to figure out what way it goes. I think it goes this way. And so it's a double page spread again. And so it was basically just strips of paper that we cut, and then I inked them, and it came with these gears that were cut out of some sort of vellum that had stars on it. And came with some tags and tickets that we fussy cut out. And I'm going to put some journaling there. I'm terrible at doing journaling, but I just am tired of seeing these layouts in iris bins, and I want to get them in albums. And if I never get to the journaling, well, I guess I never get to the journaling, but I at least want them to be in albums so that people can look at them. I know my husband really likes looking at the layouts, and I don't like seeing them in iris bins. So yeah, this was a pretty simple layout, but this is photos of the boys with their newest brother, the youngest one, and yeah, that turned out nice. And then some more photos of them at home, and then us at the hospital with Cooper. And I don't think he was too impressed with, because he was no longer the youngest, so he wasn't too happy at first at having a baby brother. This next one was a double page layout as well. This was a kit I bought. It was a Simple Stories kit. I forget what this paper line is. I have quite a bit of it. It's really fun papers, a lot of florals and rainbows and bright colors. And there's a little spot there again for journaling. And again, you know, it's kind of cactus and florals in a lot of these, but they're outdoor pictures, but I wouldn't really say they're, you know, botanical kind of photos. But we had gone to Stanley Park in BC and took some pictures of the shoreline and these totem poles. And I think I'm going to add some enamel dots to this one as well. The kit was pretty basic. It was mostly paper and ephemera. And then some more photos. Thought this was a neat photo. It was just a big dead tree that was kind of in the park. So I took a picture of that. And yeah. This next one was a kit I bought. It had this little shaker in it, and I don't know, there's a leak in it somewhere. I need to, oh yeah, I see where the leak is. I need to fix that before I put it in the album because it's leaking little beads. But I thought this was fun to add a shaker to it. It was a happy birthday theme layout, so I found a picture of our youngest for one of his birthdays there and added the photo, and the colors kind of matched even though I didn't have this photo picked out, so that helped. And I like this kind of little embellishment cluster there. They did some embossing on these chevron pieces, which I thought was a great idea. And then cut out some stars. And I think there was some stamping done here on the little tabs. But yeah, it was really cute. I think I'm going to pause the video here and come back with the second part because the video is getting a bit long and I don't want to make it too long of a video. So stay tuned for the second part to this epic layout share. So take care and catch you in the next video. Bye for now.